Hello everybody, and welcome to your Chac solo guide. Gonna be grabbing ourselves a good old-fashioned bluestone pendant. If you want to go something a little bit more defensive on Chac, you can go right into the sovereignty. Basically guarantees your laning phase is gonna go smoothly, easily. You don't have to worry about the gank so much. I like to get a little bit more aggressive with Chaac right off the bat, and I like to go straight into the gladiator shield. He does have, wow, that's miserable. He does have a lot of sustain already built into his kit with the rain, so you don't necessarily need to go into that Sov. But if you're afraid, you're like, I don't really play solo lane, I don't know what to do. Bluestone right into a Sov on Chaac. Great way to avoid dying over in the solo lane and avoid the enemy solo or jungle snowballing out of control. And if you'd like to help the Twitchiest community snowball out of control, make sure you smash that sub button and ring that bell for notifications so you never miss a video. For our active, you're gonna see that we have grabbed ourselves a teleport. Teleport has come back in the meta strongly. In the solo lane, you can pretty much just grab it every game now. Teleport plus beads really ends up being the solo lane actives, and also teleport in blink. So just depending on how your game is going, depending on the enemy team comp, is you choosing between those two. Also the type of god that you're on. A Chaac, much more likely to get teleports and blink than I am to get teleport beads. I've got the built-in CC immediately with my ult, plus the Chaac blink ult, really strong initiating tool.
Excellent.
So I can use that to help out my team blow up the backline in the late game. So that is what we'll be heading with active in this game. For Chaac, he is one of those gods over in solo lane that always gets a hard rep from like pro players. You won't typically see a lot of Chaac like in the pro scene, and it's because Chaac is right on that verge where Chaac is good. He is a good character, just outright. He's not bad at all. There's been very few times in Smite history that Chaac has been not a viable solo lane pick. The thing about Chaac is that he's usually not the best pick. Almost always, Chaac will be somewhere around the middle of the pack. Doesn't break into that top 3 in the modern history of Smite very often, way back in the day, but that's because there wasn't that many gods in the game. But in my opinion, Chaac has been the premier. I don't really know how to play solo god. / I'm kind of comfortable in the solo lane, but my gods have been banned out. Now what do I do kind of thing. If you don't know what you're doing in solo lane, if you don't have a big enough god pool and your gods have been banned out and you're trying to pick something new, if you're trying to learn the lane and you don't want to have to worry about a really difficult to play god, Chaac is good for all of these reasons. He's still going to be helpful in the team fights. His laning phase, very straightforward, and you'll be able to get to the late stage of the game without feeding your brains out, because feeding your brains out in solo is the worst feeling. For your abilities on Chaac, Chaac is pretty straightforward. You're going to level up your ultimate whenever you can. Leveling up your ultimate gives you this increased damage mitigation while you're in the air on Chaac's ultimate. It's also going to give you increased damage. Then we're going to rank up our 1. Our 1 is our main lane clear ability on Chaac. So we're going to be maxing that out. Then we're going to do our 2 and then our 3. If you are scared on Chaac, you can level up your rain dance before your 2. I'm going the more aggressive build here, right? I'm going into the gladiator shield instead of the Sov. If you're going the sovereignty build because you're scared over the solo lane, nothing wrong with leveling up Chaac 4, 1, 3, 2. More defensive, more worried about just not dying. I'll be doing 4, 1, 2, 3, a little bit more aggressive. pairs better with the gladiator shield.
An enemy has been slain.
As far as your standard combination here on Chac, it's gonna be the same all game. You're gonna throw out your axe first, and then you're either gonna follow up with a little bit of a rain dance or a little bit of a 2. When you follow up with the rain dance, you're gonna put the rain not only on Chac, you're gonna put it on the axe as well. When you do your 2, you're gonna teleport to your axe. Now the teleporting to the axe thing is the one part of Chac's kit where there is a big outplay potential. For the most part, Chac's straightforward. I have circle, I throw circle, you're near the circle, you get hit it. Note how I said near the circle, not in the circle. You can be outside of Chac circles and definitely get hit by them. All of them down. You got the thickest circle in the game. But when you go for that Chac 1-2 combo, the one time that it gets a little bit tricksy hobbits is when you're trying to run away, when you're getting ganked, throw out your axe in one direction, run in the other direction. If they chase you, then you teleport to the axe. If they chase your axe, then you continue running away and you don't use your 2, all right? So if I throw down my axe and I run this way because I'm getting chased, they're chasing me, I wait a little bit and then I press my 2. You can bait them out, force them into the wrong direction. Works particularly well if you're doing this like over a wall or something. But then it gives you even more room between the enemy and you. That's like the real high-level kind of shock situations that you can find yourself in. I'm going to get 1 point in my teleport just to rank it up here a little bit for that lower cooldown. It's going to take 40 seconds off of it. Finish up my gladiator shield and get myself
I'll defend middle lane.
the chalice of healing. Now my 1-2 combo. Gonna clear most of the wave. Going to save my point here at level 8 so I can level up my ultimate and my 1. On Chac's passive, you're gonna see every time that we land an auto attack, it's gonna be putting a point into that passive. Preferably, you're using that passive on your axe. Using it on your axe is gonna reduce the cooldown of it. It's gonna reduce the cooldown of whatever ability that you are using. Holy cow, that is a 1 HP one. Yo! I want to kill him so bad, please, creeps! Man, so unfortunate that we weren't able to get that kill right there. But if you use that bonus cooldown that you get from your passive on your axe, because it's the ability that you're leveling first, and because it's the lowest cooldown ability, you're going to be able to spam that axe really fast. Just spam, 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 spam. Now, because they are rocking a triple physical team right here, I'm actually just going to go right into a sovereignty after my gladiator shield. I've already gotten ganked once over here. They got the Guan solo, they got the Suki. I could get a little bit of anti-heal online right now, but honestly, the Guan Yu healing isn't going to be that much of a big deal until later in the game, so I can just kind of loop back around and get the safer item here secondarily, since it looks like we're going to be making some friends this game with the Suki.
No problem. I am perfect in every way.
As far as your matchups on Chac, whole point of picking Chac is that he doesn't have a bad matchup in lane. That's basically the whole point. He wins most lane clears. He'll tie lane clears against some of the other really good lane clearing gods like a Bologna. You'll lose early game in that lane clear department, but by the time you get to around level 7 or so, you're full clearing, so it doesn't really matter. Can't full clear more than a full clear. So your matchup in lane isn't that relevant. Your matchup into the enemy team comp a little bit more so. The more people that you're going against that don't have leaps, the better. And that's mostly because if you do have a jump, pretty easy to get out of the Chac ultimate. You're up in the air there for about a second, which means there's plenty of time to just go ahead and jump out of that Chac ability. Uller, a little bit more difficult for him to jump out actually of the ability because he might have to stance switch beforehand. But in general, this comp, okay to go against. I like going against the Chronos on Chaac because it forces him to either ulti before my ultimate comes down, or he gets hit by the silence and he's like, if I ulti right now, it's gonna be too early, but if I try to wait out the silence, it might be too late. Love the matchup into Chaac. Atlas is fine. Tanks really aren't your problem. You're mostly looking at the squishies. Suki does have the CC immune ultimate, so he can ulti me and then go into his immunity, so not a super great matchup either. But in general, you're looking out for those CC immune ultis and those leads that can just jump right over your own ulti. Hard to do damage on Chaac if they just jump over all your damage. Gotta run towards his blue, just take a little gander at it. Guan Yu did stay over here. A little greedy of me to kind of be around here. I really want to dive him though. He knows I want to dive him. I'm gonna pop the ulti, see if I can't force him to ult. Nope, I'm actually gonna be able to grab the kill right there. He didn't think I was gonna commit to the kill. I'm always gonna commit to the kill, baby. Don't matter that it's a god guide. I only have one key, and it's W. I only have the W key. All right, now we're gonna back up. We're gonna grab ourselves that sovereignty, and we're gonna see if we have enough to rank up. I think we're gonna have enough to rank up our teleport. We sure are. I am a fan of heroic teleport. I'm gonna grab it right now so I can teleport over towards the mid lane. I'm gonna call for the gank middle lane. I'm gonna come over here to help out the team. This is gonna give me that bonus movement speed so I can run right in around the back. I love the heroic teleport. I think it is really good. Gonna throw an axe towards this Chronos. He actually might go for the ulti. He sure did. Gonna throw down my slow. I'm back here by the Chronos spawn. I'm just gonna keep running at him. I've got my teleport still up, so I'm gonna teleport over there towards them, but unfortunately, Chronos and Ul are both real fast gods, so they're gonna be able to just get away from that one. The nice thing about teleport is that you can kind of just rotate whenever it is up. In general, in order to not fall behind and farm, what you want to do is clear the wave and then teleport somewhere. Better yet, if you can proxy farm, it's even better. Proxy farm meaning getting the wave behind the tower. So if I were to get this wave, run behind the tower, get the next wave, just means I'm missing out on less and less and less farm. Gives me also more time on the rotation that I can stick outside of my lane without getting punished. As far as your goals as the solo laner, your goal is to dive into the backline. Sometimes when you're like a Guardian solo, you might have some peeling in there. Chaac, not very high on the peel department for solo laners. Very high on the initiation and diving the backline. So my job is mostly going to be blinking in towards the backline. This game, I'm going to be putting a lot of pressure, like I said, onto the Chronos. My ultimate is going to be the most efficient against him. Gotta run through this tower because I do want to back. So I'm gonna come over here and grab this wave really quick. Might be getting rotated on, not getting rotated on by Suki because I see him over in the duo lane. So right now I'm just proxying this wave, which gives me the option to go look throughout their jungle. I'm gonna go steal a little jungle, and then I'm gonna back up and get myself that blink as my active, and then I can teleport back in towards mid lane if I want to. Grab myself a blink. Also gonna start working on a Pridvin. I'm gonna blink in towards middle lane again. I'm gonna call for the gank, switch his actives around because I prefer the other method for this. And now we're off to the races. Blink in on the Chronos. He is forced right into the ulti immediately, which puts him out of position really far. So I'm gonna try to chase this down now. Robin's gonna be able to ulti right on top of him. Always a difficult time trying to catch up to a Chronos, but we are gonna be able to put him down. And you can see why that matchup into the Chronos is so nice. He immediately has to go through the decision-making process of, do I ulti right now or do I wait? I'm gonna throw down my axe. This Guan Yu has his ultimate down. He's getting a little greedy off of this. So I'm just gonna turn on him, start giving him the beat down. He gets a little heal off right there. Shouldn't be enough for him to live. Think he might dash, so I'm gonna wait on utilizing my axe throw until after he does. Gonna wait for this Neethal to hit Suki. Once it does, gonna throw down my axe to guarantee that kill. No reason to go for even a little bit of a skill shot when I can just wait out the entire thing. Even an ability as big as Chaac, you can miss it. Might as well wait if you can. And then while I'm here in the mid tower, because we have the trebuchet, I'm gonna take down this tier 1 tower, give us a bunch of cash. Reminder that tier 1 towers give thick money in Smite nowadays. 125 gold per person on our team. That's a huge amount of gold. Massive. As far as our build concerns on Chac, standard build concerns over in the solo lane. Right now, ability-based solo laners still the meta. A lot of that basically just comes down to Gladiator Shield. Gladiator Shield is good. Bonus damage is good. If you can manage to get the late game bonus damage from Bluestone and the late game bonus damage from Gladiator Shield, it's a lot of damage without actually having to build any damage, which means that you get to build 80 to 90% tank focus, and you still get like 50-60% of the value as if you would have built damage on it. Very strong. It's the reason why Warriors have been so good all year long. Really just comes down to Gladiator Shield. Pridvin functions perfectly within those confines that we are looking for. It gives us a bunch of CDR, which means we can spam more abilities. More abilities means more Bluestone Gladiator Shield procs. I'm actually going to quickly teleport over to mid lane. I'm going to call for the gank mid. I would have liked to go back to lane first, but I can see that my team needs my help over here. So I am going to blink in towards this. Going to do a little axe throw. Throw down the ulti onto the Uller. We're going to be able to kill him. Do a little sidestep over here on the old Tsukiyomi. Get those chalices proccing. We should be able to get at least another kill or two here. Wrap that up. I'm just going to keep W King right at this Chronos. Throw down my little slow boy. He uses his ultimate. Now I got to get ready to chase this Chronos. Gonna try to avoid the stun. Not going to be able to do it. HP is going down pretty low. So I'm going to throw my axe over the wall. I'm going to start running this way. They're still chasing me, so I'm going to pop back that 2 over the wall. Then I can throw my 3, and I can just kind of keep playing that game over and over again. Guan Yu's still chasing me, so I just teleport back this way, and we get out. All right, once you reach about that 15-minute marker of the game, give or take, this is when, if you have not been rotating a lot, up till this point, you don't necessarily need to be rotating a lot. But once you get to the 15-minute marker, that is the prime team fight time in Smite right now. Most games in Smite decided between that 15 to 20-minute marker, maybe 25 minutes if we're being generous. A lot of games, that's when the lead is going to get out of control for one team. Big team fight breaks out. That team fight leads into a Gold Fury, also leads into a Pyromancer. Bada bing, bada boom. You're off to the races. Now I've got to back myself up right here and wait for the Tsukiyomi ult to finish. That way he doesn't teleport to me over here. He teleports back where I was instead of where I ended up. My man has literally stayed over here, so now I gotta continue to back up. They're gonna continue to dive. Gotta throw myself a little boy back towards the tower. We're not getting pressure on the Gold Fury, which is unfortunate. The entire team came over to the solo lane. They got the Suki there. They got the Guan there. We wanted to teleport over towards that Gold Fury. And the fact that we haven't broken out a fight is a bummer. We do get the pick on Chronos, though, which is nice. Realistically, once it's to the 15-minute marker, if you see a jungle gate going on in the solo lane, that is your moment as a team to immediately go to the Gold Fury because you have a 4v3. Force the fight at the Gold Fury, or like a tier 1 tower. If they wanted to like force that tier 1 tower over a duo, that would have also been good because tier 1 towers give basically as much money as the Gold Fury anyway. So it doesn't really matter what objective you're forcing. You just want to force something more on the other side of the map. Now for my item right here, getting some anti-heal online would be good. They are super heavy into the physical damage, so I'm just gonna go right into a contagion.
I am the bulwark.
Gonna start working on that. I'm gonna fat finger my blink. after I buy Contagion. Classic. I'm going to teleport actually over into the dual lane because Uller is shoving over there. My Neath is dead and he's going to get a free tower. I don't want him to get a free tower. Don't have that much magical defense in this build, but that's because they don't have that much magical damage. They've got the Kronos, who's not even the biggest person on their team. The Uller and the Tsukiyomi, much more of a problem. So instead of grabbing that Pestilence, I'm going to grab that Contagion. And then our last item will have a little bit of magical defense on it. Gonna finish up this tower as well for us. Throw 600 gold out to everybody in the game. And then we can back up and finish up as well.
No harm will come to us. Under attack. Your right tower has been destroyed.
So if we go and we look at our defenses, you can see we're nearly capped on physical. We got so many physical defenses. For our last item here, we have a lot of options. Spirit Robe is always a great item to go. It'll cap out our CDR at 40%. We could go an Oni Hunter's Garb, give us a bunch of magical defense. I don't like the Bulwark of Hopes and stuff as much as I like some of the other items. But looking at a magical defense item, Genji's Guard, really good with a Gladiator Shield build. You get that -3 seconds. That -3 seconds also combines super well with the -2 seconds on Chaac's passive. So that's a potentially 5 seconds there off of your abilities. Plus it's going to give us a bunch of magical defense. It'll give us the 10% CDR. Genji's going to slot in perfectly into this build for Chac. And then we'll rank up that Bluestone.
From me.
Now, Bluestone and Redstone, both very good on Chac. I'm going to go into Bluestone over Redstone. That because the Chac autos aren't that important to his kit. Hey, what a rude, but whatever. Gonna have to throw that down and start running this way. Get that teleport off, and now I'm running. Getting chased and by an Uller. He wants me really, really, really bad, but I'm gonna throw my axe. Now I'm gonna back up so I can teleport back in and immediately get back to this fight. Would have loved to get on level 20, so that way I could have finished my Bluestone. I'm gonna save that cash, teleport back in. I do have my blink up. Gonna blink into the back line, looking for the Kronos. Hopefully I can just burn him down with a 1-2 combo. We'll be able to finish him off with that. And all of a sudden we turn this fight around really hard, courtesy of course, teleports. He's gonna be able to run away from that one, no problem. I'm gonna call for the attack Gold Fury, and we should be able to go over there and get ourselves a nice objective. Nox should be able to tank this Gold Fury. Looks like our Robin is on zoning duty, so I don't have to zone. If Robin wasn't zoning, I would be zoning right now. Looks like Uller's kind of sneaking through a little bit, trying to make sure he doesn't have too much free time over here. In fact, they should be able to get that Gold Fury, and we're going to be able to get the Uller. That's a 2-for-1 deal at Costco! Alright, now we back up, get that Bluestone. Always save that money at the end if you can finish your Bluestone. Ranking up that Bluestone brooch is going to give you more damage and more presence on the map than literally anything else can. You can also see that I'm not leveling up my Blink. The Blink level up is nice, but it's not as important as getting the rest of your items. So I will be leveling that up last after I finish my Genji's Guard. We're getting to the stage of the game where even though the Kronos is a little bit behind the rest of his team, even though they've only got really one real magical damage dealer, he's gonna start coming online. We've got ourselves a nice 5K lead, which is significant.
Your team is fully
So now it's about getting set up over near the Fuego to make sure that they don't get it, sneak it, anything like that. Target priority still gonna be on that Kronos in the back when he is around. Now there's a Suki going pretty ham right here. He's probably going to be forced into an ulti situation. I'm going to bring him back over towards the Robin. That way he ends up from his ultimate right next to him, and we can finish him off.
Enemies in left lane.
There is another ward over here on the fire giant, so I'm gonna bring that down. I'm just gonna immediately start the pyromancer. Uller in the back though. Gotta switch off, go help the team. I'm gonna wait for him to jump over the wall. He is not gonna get that jump off, and now we're getting opportunities to go for this Guan Yu, which could lead directly into a fire giant. Throw a little axe over the wall, throw down the ulti. Should be able to chase him down. We're gonna get the slow from my 3. We're gonna get the slow from the Bridvin.
Sorry.
And now all I gotta do is kind of wait out his dash right there. We grab that kill for free. And we should now go for the big fire giant as soon as I get these minions off me so they don't chase me down and give away vision of the fire. Chrono spent a long time chasing my Neath all the way over to our Phoenix over there and didn't even get him. So that's a big win for us as well. Now it's time for her to back up, get those last couple of items. And this is where the lead gets really out of control. So you can see, much like expected, right around that 20-minute marker, we had started winning some team fights. We had that 5K lead. We turned that into a good team fight over on the fire giant side of the map. This fire giant is going to take this game from that 5K leadish to probably in the range of 10 plus. And once you have a 10K plus deficit in Smite, really hard to combat. And I mean like really hard. I'm talking like I play a lot of Smite and I have been in like maybe 3 games all year long that the team down 10K has come back and won.
Okay.
Ridiculously difficult. They've got a lot of presence over here in the solo lane. I'm gonna have to get a little tricksy hobbitses with this one. Gonna have to teleport back over. Gonna have to go for tricksy hobbitses round 2. Gonna have to teleport back once again. Trixie Hobbits is round 3, coming in hot. Just gonna have to keep running away because they're keeping the pressure on me. They've decided to go for the counter shove. You can see, always run in a different direction than you are trying to go. That way you can live through it. Got to make sure this Uller doesn't get too much free pressure over here in the mid lane. They've got 3 people here. We're getting a lot of free stuff off of this. There is no way in hell that they grab this. So they've got to be very careful here. I am not going to let them get this for free. I'm going to call for the attack Titan. I'm going to go for the ulti right here onto this Uller. He pops the beads. I should be able to finish him off. I'll be able to kill the Atlas as well. They're throwing. I'm keeping the pressure on. I'm not going to let them back. No way in a million years these guys get this back off. And I'm going to tell the team just keep attacking the Titan, and we should be able to end this game just like this. They tried to get real cheeky with some split, and I'm just going to continue to run down the lane, not let them back, and we're going to be able to end it just like that. Chac, safe to play solo laner. You're not going to feed your brains out. You're not probably going to carry your brains out, but you're going to have a good time. You're going to do decent in the laning phase at a minimum. You're safe, you have presence, you have a CC. All you gotta do is buy a Bluestone Gladiator shield. The rest of the build, you can honestly mix and match to your heart's content. As long as you're getting that damage off from the Bluestone and the Glad shield. The rest of it, tanky items depending on the guys that you're going against, and you'll still do a bunch of damage while mitigating a bunch of guys. And that is your Chac solo guide. Please don't forget to subscribe to the Twitchiest community and ring that bell for notifications so you don't miss our daily upload. Thank you for supporting the Twitchiest community. If you'd like to see more videos, make sure you subscribe to the channel and always hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos. Thank you for all your support and have a Twitchin' day, y'all.